Coming to the third and the last example of combination reaction, it's calcium oxide reacts with water. Calcium oxide is also called as quicklime. It is solid, and so we have written CaO, that is solid, reacts with water, that is liquid, and the product that it is forming is calcium hydroxide, that is CaOH twice. Calcium hydroxide is also called as slaked lime. So when you are taking lime, that is calcium oxide, and adding water to it, which is not very soluble in water, it is only to a certain extent it is soluble. So this solution that we are going to get, that is calcium hydroxide, is used for whitewashing the walls. So this calcium hydroxide gradually then further reacts with the atmospheric carbon dioxide and it forms calcium carbonate, which makes our walls shiny and smooth. So this is one everyday example that we take of combination reaction, that is for whitewashing the walls. We make use of calcium oxide, that is quicklime. It is soaked in water and then it gives rise to calcium hydroxide. When we are preparing lime water or calcium hydroxide in laboratory, we do the same process, but we leave this solution undisturbed for some time. After some time, you will get a clear solution on the top, and that clear solution you will take as a calcium hydroxide. This further can be used as a test for carbon dioxide. The test that we do for detecting presence of carbon dioxide gas is passing it through lime water, that is calcium hydroxide. If it turns milky, it indicates that the gas is CO2, because when calcium hydroxide reacts with carbon dioxide, it forms calcium carbonate, which is insoluble. So this is what we have just now studied. I've just now told you that when doing whitewash, we prepare this solution and then calcium hydroxide gradually combines with atmospheric carbon dioxide and forms CaCO3, that is calcium carbonate. So let's see the equation, that is CaO plus H2O gives CaOH twice plus heat. Now this indicates that this reaction is an exothermic reaction, that is heat is given out, and that is why it is written on the product side. So this reaction is an exothermic reaction. I hope you have got the formulas, how we have formed them. Calcium oxide, that is CaO, calcium and oxygen both have valency 2, and when it cancels, you get the formula CaO. Water we already know, and calcium hydroxide, that is CaOH twice, because calcium's valency is 2 and hydroxide group has got valency -1. So when you cross it, you get CaOH twice. You can use the ion table for making the formulas. So this is what the three examples are for combination reaction. By now you must have understood that what can be the definition of combination reaction. That is when two or more reactants in a reaction combine to form a single product. It is called as a combination reaction. I hope you are writing down all the equations simultaneously, and towards the end you will write down the definition. So we now move to the next type of reaction, that is decomposition reaction. Coming to the next type of reaction, that is decomposition reaction. Now the word decomposition even means degradation, or to break down into simple forms. Decompose, degradation, or to break down into simple form. Let us take an example like the food that we eat is highly complex. It breaks down inside our body into simple form, which is used by us for generation of energy. like carbohydrates to glucose, proteins to amino acids, and fats to fatty acids and glycerol. So this is decomposition, or this is breaking down into simple forms. So that is what is meant by the decomposition reaction, or what we are going to study in this reaction. Even we hear it with respect to how the microorganisms break down the complex material into simple form, which again return to the environment. And so these carbon cycle or oxygen cycle, nitrogen cycles that you have studied, they continuously go on taking place, so that the nutrients in the environment or the various essential material that is there in the environment remains intact throughout. And that is because of the returning back of these nutrients to the atmosphere. So this is what we are going to study in this type of reaction, that is decomposition reaction. The first example that we are taking is sugar is heated. What happens when sugar is heated? So the formula that we have taken here is C12H22O11. This is table sugar or sucrose, the sugar that we eat. So this is C12H22O11, that is sugar, and that is solid. You have to take it in a test tube, and when you heat it, again we have mentioned the condition, that is heat on the arrow. And what happens is, as you go on heating it, it gradually melts, it turns to be goldenish in color, gets caramelized, and then if you continuously go on heating, some vapors are given out, and finally when all vapors are given out, only a black colored residue is left behind. So that black colored residue is nothing but carbon, and the vapors that we saw were of water. So sugar is made out of carbon and water, and so it breaks down to form carbon and water. So that is the decomposition or breaking down of complex sugar into simple form. Now let us balance this equation. So here we find that carbon is 12, H, that is hydrogen 22 atoms, and oxygen 11. Whereas on this side we can see only one carbon atom, hydrogen we find 2, and oxygen is 1 atom. So how do we balance it? So how can we make carbon 12 on this side? By simply writing a 12 coefficient in front of carbon. Then we need to balance oxygen and hydrogen. So here there is H2O. So we want 22 hydrogen. So 2 multiplied by 11 will give us 22. So this coefficient here will be 11. So 11 twos are 22 hydrogen atoms, and here this 11 stands for oxygen also, and so we get 11 oxygen atoms. So with this we can easily balance the equation. So I hope you have understood this. That is how sugar gets decomposed to give you carbon and water. Let's see some more examples in the next slide.